This the realest fucking shit I'll ever say in my life. This the realest fucking shit you'll ever hear on the mic. Better be quicker than lights or get 25 to life. If your moves ain't precise, start singing for Christ. But Jesus won't feed us if a nigga about to starve been singing the same song and frontin' behind them bars. Under my feet is the lava, above my head the stars. Where the fuck is hell in heaven? I'm compelled with lessons. Like the shells in my weapon, I repel the stressing. I inhale the setting as I'm dollar reflecting. Just a scholar inspecting every movement and function. Gentlemen sipping Louis 14 over discussion. And the funds that I'm trusting make my guns start busting over financial concussions. A hoe with self-destruction without a pin's instructions. I'm talking with some blue eyes while I'm at the luncheon. Them cheeks start blushing, every penny start rushing. I gotta love the sound of the roaches I be crushing. This is royal flushing, I will see you on your bluffing. Niggas take the way I move, maneuver like it's nothing. Go ahead and grab your bitch, I got the key for your cuffing. So please keep your respect, no need for the cussing. If I gotta teach you manners, you'll end up on the camera. You will be a prime example, cause the boy on the banner. Yeah, you goons are fucking goons, illiterate with no grammar. Nigga, if it's not Godfather, why even bother? Work smarter, not harder, or end up as a martyr. I am married to this game, my clock and doze in a garter belt. And that's why it's harder felt, and going broke will make any real nigga start to melt. Can't mess up the velvet, I can't mess up the leather. Smoke a blunt of this West Coast and I get it together. Study banks and stocks to get some game on my cheddar. Then I study wars to prepare for any contenders. Just a real nigga trying to make my life better. That's an everyday job. Being happy's a mission and crackers making it hard. Is the Negro a beast or is the image of God? Did slave blood taste like honey when they back got flogged? We was treated like dogs. Niggas singing the blues, dancing in tap shoes. Now I tap on the shoulder of my chauffeur. I don't even gotta speak, he knows where to pull over. Money makes the summer colder, keeps the winter warm. Thoughts come from darkness, so when you speak is born. My core I feel like the Lord with the crown of thorns. Hell have no fury, just like a woman scorned. That's why they keep their legs open till they pussy's torn. Never kick the hornet's nest, cause the stinkers swarm. I'm all the gods combined to one in physical form. Bitch, nigga. Yeah. That's the guy 720 for you. Saga City. Goat leader, the soothsayer, the smoke reaper, the game teacher, the flame preacher that spits what I practice and remain in pimp status. I'll twist your brain backwards, my lyrics are apparatus like a prostitute stew or a brew of witch's magic. You see me rational when the logic makes you erratic. Ecstatic, I invite the night that serves Christ with dry blood on my knife. Keep some light green in my pipe to ignite. Dark age nigga, riddle me that. Sprinkle some holy sacraments on the lead in my gat. I drink the blood of thugs to bring the 1990s back. This is the final collapse. Fracture skulls with some cold hard facts. Is this a rapture or the tour of some rap? And if I catch your spinal fat, you put a fur on my back.
Yeah, nigga.
Why they hating on Satan? Because they do
is for Satan. And they wife steady breaking. I give a small demonstration. Demons been straight for eons. Better to be pissed off than peed on. In this Star Wars, you were trekking as a Klingon. So sing on key.
That ass belongs to me like this is Ike and Tina in 73. Come on, march to the beat. There's no heart in defeat. Waving sheets that's white. In the middle of the night, we fight like civil rights. This is pimping, only chasing rats with fiddle and pipe. If she gives me any gripe, you can catch her at the street light. My game is sweet tight and never hollow. I didn't need a Twitter, make a motherfucker follow. When you look at the numbers, don't feel bitter with sorrow. You can fight a fat critter with some money to follow. Bitch, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm known for making hoes
of other races go pro-black, turn they back on they god once they sit on my Bozak. You can hold that.
In 1996, bury your best friend, and his carcass makes you rich. You can ask Shu, the Rubik's Cube of these music dudes, private attendants in the news. We play for kings and queens in this family feud. This is chess and not checkers. Evolved to a rat chinchilla, coming from some duck down feathers. I was slinging that crack in below zero weather. Never made it to an ounce.
Then I sold the crack of the Nas and I got me a house. These niggas be full of doubt, show them what pimpin's about.
She only know the color of my shoes and watch her fucking mouth. Don't speak when she holds both cheeks. My throatness is so unique. My dick is like my pockets, bitch. They go so deep.
Yeah. Yo, what's cracking, man? The guy 720, the Money Religion. I appreciate everybody being here. We got a different type of show today. We got a homie that, like I always say, man, I don't like for anybody to call themselves fans with me. When you fuck around over here, it's family. I definitely want to pull you into that type of space, because if you got the type of brain that fucks around with the information I fuck with, which I know is a unique situation, we definitely have, you know, when those minds are at the same table, we can develop a situation to get to the way bigger money. And we got a studious homie here, Brick Alter, that's gonna come in and he's gonna ask me questions on Real Nigga Etiquette. The first one, this one right here, which I don't have any copies of right now, you know, but if you purchase, go ahead and get it. Yeah, you gotta turn, let me bring the homie in. You gotta turn your camera sideways. Your camera is sideways, homie. So yeah, there we go, like that. Yeah. Oh, click the link again because you just fell out. So this book right here is one of my top sellers. A lot of people love this book. This is the classic one, and you know, the homie really showed me that energy, that, you know, it was the classic line, you know, the Real Nigga Etiquette. So, and I don't know why, but we're gonna hear why right now. He got questions for me, so we're gonna go in on this book. A lot of people, especially out the conscious movement, looked at this book and everybody got quiet. This is one of the sisters that got everybody quiet. This is actually connected to, this is like the small quick proverbs, the cheat sheet to the black man's Bible, which is also another cheat sheet. So this is the quick way to get to it. You dig what I'm saying? So we're gonna bring the homie in, you know, and let's see how it goes. Okay. You in? You hear me?
Peace. Yeah, I hear you. How's my
Yeah, okay, peace. I can hear you.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, hey, peace to everybody out there. I'm Brick Alter, and we've been talking, and it's so much to unpack in this piece. What's funny is that you can get fooled by the size of the book and figure that, you know, it's a thin piece, but in actuality, talking about this book alone, if we wanted to really unpack everything, it would probably take a couple of weeks, if not a month. So what I did was I just highlighted areas in the book that triggered me, that I wanted to know about. You know, of course there's much more, but I couldn't do everything, but I highlighted the most, you know, pertinent pieces for me and said, you know what? Let's see, I got questions. What does this mean?
No, I love it. I love the fact that you wanted to do that. Like I said earlier, nobody has ever mentioned the Real Nigga Etiquette, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you was raised East Coast bound, correct? You know, so, you know, it's some street here. I can't say that I'm 1,000% street and been out of the pen and all this other shit. I ran into niggas like that. You dig what I'm saying? But going to the pen is not the final line. You dig what I'm saying? Don't do that, because a lot of people, they say, oh yeah, we gotta go to, you survive in the pen, nigga, you made it. Nigga, some niggas be in there 30, 40 years, they get out 50, 60 years old. You ain't finna start no world out here on the streets at no 50 and 60. The goal of the game when it comes to street shit is money, no matter what you're doing. You dig what I'm saying? So, and within that money, you are to get away with the bag. You are not to be caught with the bag. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead, man. Hit me with any questions you want from the rooter to the tutor. Let's run it.
All right. First, I wanted to ask you. I noticed in a lot of your artwork, you have this symbolism. It's reoccurring, and dragons. And what inspires that? What inspired the cover art in this book?
Well, I really didn't know what to do. I truly didn't know what to do with the cover on how I was gonna do it. I liked the phrase "real nigga etiquette." It sort of divided some things. You dig what I'm saying? It was sort of like back in the day when the ladies were looking for what they called the corporate thug. You remember when that was going on? When the sisters was like, "Oh yeah, we want our niggas to be corporate thugs." They could go handle a bank meeting, but they could still smoke a blunt, and you know what I'm saying, and blah blah blah. So it was along that line, and I liked it. I didn't want real nigga to be the phrase "real nigga" by itself to be minimized by commercialism as some clown nigga, like they try to put it on, quote unquote, a Crip Mac, or quote unquote, they try to clown it, you know what I'm saying, and depreciate the value of what real nigga is. You dig what I'm saying? Because it's a mysterious space, we don't know how to really categorize it. So I put it real nigga etiquette. You dig what I'm saying? I wanted etiquette attached to it because there's niggas who operate with rules, and so when it came to the cover, I didn't know what to do. So I said, I like the herald science. I was already in the medieval shit. I said, I love heralds. I love this whole science with the heralds and the family crest and the coat of arms. So I'm a Leo. So let me just go ahead and do that. You dig what I'm saying? I don't know why everybody's saying my mic is acting a fool right now. It shouldn't be. Hold on. Oh, it's probably the gain. Is it better now? Is it better now? But we're going to keep it moving. But yeah, it was just the herald. I wanted to put the herald on there. I understood on the back it says Draco. And, right, on the back it says Draco. And I wanted to, I understood the Draco constellation and how that's aligned over the Khmer civilization, which is the biggest religious church on this planet. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I'll put the gain all the way down since y'all complaining. Everybody complaining about the volume on my mic right now. But, yeah, so I wanted to do that. That's actually an eagle that's on the back. The eagle is attached to the Aquila constellation, and the O over the A is an anarchy symbol, which I always liked ever since a child, the A and the O, but I didn't know that was going to fit in with the Gad and the God thing too. So I just slipped the anarchy symbol with the O over the A into that zone later on. You dig what I'm saying? But I always liked that that O over the A thing. There's an angel complex too, because if you take the O and lift it above the A, it's the angel with the halo. You dig what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, that's the system I wanted to put in there. And yeah, so it ended up being that just me putting the Leo Herald on there. I didn't know that same lion was on all the family crest and all of the coat of arms of Europe. I didn't know that then when I did it. So I found that out later. I actually found that out after I did all 3 volumes. I found that out. But go ahead. Yeah, what's the next question?
Now, if you was to get one of the brothers from Medina, Mecca, 5% terminology, they would break it down and say Draco, divine ruler, Allah, culture cipher. So they would put the A, Allah, which is God, the black man, inside of the cipher. Oh, they'll give you a breakdown for that for days.
Yeah, and then Draco being the root word to dragon too, or Dracula, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't know all of that then. So when I put that Draco on there, it was just in reference to the dragon power, the constellation, and reptilian power. You know what I'm saying? Because reptiles are superior to mammals when you compare them in the areas of war or in the areas of physicality. Like they can regrow limbs, we can't. Things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Heavy. And I like the way you sectioned it off. Here in the first Real Nigga Etiquette, it begins with the streets, the street etiquette. And right away, I like to ask you about what you stated here. It says loyalty is something that is in one's bone structure. What does that mean?
It's either in you or it's not. And then the first thing of loyalty is you got to be loyal to yourself. And because there is no guarantee on loyalty outside of yourself. You dig what I'm saying? But if that's in you, it's in you. And loyalty is also an honor code. And a lot of us don't operate inside the space of honor, so therefore they're not going to operate inside the space of loyalty. As we can see that today with all of these rap cases that are hitting the court systems, and we got snitch, paperwork every goddamn where. You dig what I'm saying? So the loyalty code wasn't there, but then again, we also have to accept the fact that snitching or rats is a part of the game. You dig what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you dig what I'm saying? But we're supposed to stay loyal, and if we truly had loyalty in our bone structure, then we would have systems like the Mexicans when it comes to quote-unquote street shit. See, what people don't realize about Mexicans or Chinese, or even Caucasians, when they go into their gangster lifestyle, they can live their gangster lifestyle all the way to the casket, never work a job, and be financially sound the entire time. That's not the case when it comes to black gangs. You dig what I'm saying? And that's where we understand thoroughly that we must not have that height of loyalty as the other groups do, because we don't have that backing. At the end of the day, I mean, when we look at all the New York gangsters, all of them snitched. You look at, with Rayful Edmonds, out of DC. I think that nigga snitched on like 200 motherfuckers or some shit. Frank Lucas supposedly snitched. It's a long jacket of snitching that goes on and I haven't been in those shoes or in extreme situations like that. I've been in a situation where you in an interrogation room, and if you just don't say you don't know, they have nothing that they can actually go off of. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of it is stress pressure. They pressurize your brain to make you go ahead and give up whoever. You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy. I just in the next page I highlighted another part, and it's funny because it falls right into what you just said. It says, if you are born with moral and etiquette, then you have a responsibility to understand the dark side. You are destined to rule.
Okay. Some people are born with it and some people ain't. Okay. And when you're born through it, you have to go through trials and tribulations, and that is the dark side, and through understanding, the downfalls, the pitfalls, and through understanding all the trauma that you may have caused in other people's lives, you fall into a remorseful, regretful energy, and the soul, when this is where you see the knight bowing in front of the saint, and that type of thing. And what we're talking about here is that you end up wanting to give back because you fucked so much shit up. and you want to repair things. And now that you have, that energy in you, and you went into the lane of I want to repair and give back, now you are whole because you understand war. And then you also understand that sending your men to war will leave children without fathers. And you understand the balance of things. So now that you understand the balance, you are designed to rule. Everybody is not designed to rule. Because if that was the case, majority of motherfuckers can't rule their household. You dig what I'm saying? So if that was the case, then it would be a bunch of chiefs and no Indians type of scenario, and there's no progression. There's always going to be quote unquote leaders or rulers, and in order for you to be in that spot, you have to go through a unique form of education and experience, and that's going to be dark-sided. You dig what I'm saying?
And you said something too. You said you're going to be whole. Well, the next part and the next question, you state you can only be whole when you do what you say you won't do.
Right. And that goes into the experience line. You dig what I'm saying? So that also falls into astrology. So astrology says, oh, you're good at this. And, you shouldn't be doing this. You got to break your rules sometimes. And, it's just like when Moses got the 10 Commandments, what's the first thing that happened? He dropped them and broke them. And that is a sign of, laws are made to be broken. Okay, so there's a lot of things in your life that you don't want to do. Okay, and something keeps on, the voices in the head keep telling you, yo, do this, and you don't want to do it, and you keep going against it, and you keep going downhill because you're going against what you should be doing, because you're facing the logical world, you're facing the world of reasoning, instead of listening and being dependent upon what's being told to you spiritually and what you may have to do. So you have to, and everybody designs rules for their life, and you also get a lot of opportunities. Some of these opportunities may be light-sided, some of these opportunities may be dark-sided, but they're presented to you for a reason. You dig what I'm saying? And you may have to break some of those rules that you built for yourself, not only for experience but for gain. And usually when you do that, and I'm going to hear many motivational speakers talk about this, when you break those rules that you designed for yourself, usually there's good gratuity, there's good, there's a good reciprocation that comes from that, good compensation that comes from that,
Yeah, no, that makes sense, because we were talking about in the Kicked Out of Heaven, it allowed the European to embark on that and do and accomplish everything they accomplished. They had to go through that trauma, and they experienced it collectively. So, yeah, you reminded me of that when you said that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You stated, never think that patience is a virtue.
Right. Okay. This is where we have to talk about werewolfism in the animal kingdom. Can the lion wait when the gazelle herd is coming by? The lion can't wait. Right. Can the hawk wait when they're flying over the ocean and they see the fish flying right there at the top of the water? No, they cannot wait. Okay, when whales have to travel 5,000 miles in order to go to their mating zone, can they wait? No. So the patience is a virtue thing. I've learned over time that is a tactic against, from the higher ups, from the 1%ers to the 99%ers, okay, to be a bullshitter. This phrase is an allowance of being a bullshitter. Patience is a virtue. No. Everything on this planet ravages immediately. Okay? Can the police officer use patience when approaching the vehicle? No, his hand is usually already on, the tase or the gun immediately. You dig what I'm saying? There's no such thing as a patience. Now, I mean, I can't say that. There is a thing as patience, and sometimes in some scenarios it is healthy. But that is the small percentage. That's the 30%. The 70%, you must ravage. You must make your decisions. You must be able to mathematically assess a situation and move on it immediately. If you don't, the opportunity will be lost. And I've lost several opportunities, because of hesitation or haste or not knowing thoroughly what I'm looking at instead of getting directly involved into it. You dig what I'm saying? So even from my own experience, patience is not a virtue. I would never tell anybody to wait. I never tell my sons to wait. You go get it. You figure out a way to get it. You create the manipulation tactic in your mind in order to get whatever the fuck you need to get. Don't ever listen to that phrase, patience is a virtue. And usually you only hear that phrase coming from a lady. You don't ever hear that phrase usually coming from men. Men can't wait on the 30-yard line when they're playing football. You can't have patience when when the clock is on 3 seconds and you're there at the 3-point line. You must shoot. You see what I'm saying? So patience is not a virtue, and I would never tell any young males growing up that patience is a virtue. Females, a different thing.
Okay. I like this one here. There is no psychological healing without love, sex, and drugs.
Just don't get addicted. He reached right there. I'm gonna answer that question with 2 words. Rick James. Okay. Okay. So for real, the truth about it. I'm glad you brought that up because let me show you something real quick. That statement is the truth about the psychiatry industry. Okay? So, there's a lot of issues. Humans have issues. Usually they say about what? I think they say about the majority of your adulthood, 80% of your adulthood is trying to heal yourself from a traumatic childhood. Have you ever heard that before? Right. So what happens here is that with the liquor, with the drugs, you're allowed to play around in dimensions. You're allowed to go into different dimensions and you're allowed to act. You're allowed to play out characters that may be installed in your blood, and when I say installed in your blood, I'm talking about incarnations from a yesteryear, from before you were even born. You know what I'm saying? You do have an individual in your blood that came from ancient Egypt. He's locked in your DNA right now. You see what I'm saying? Can you access that zone? Yes, you can, and it's best to do it in a freedom standpoint with a woman. Y'all both dress up like Egypt or whatever the fuck, drink, smoke, and get wild. You dig what I'm saying? And it brings that energy out. It brings a clarity to the mind, and this little space is also where artists are able to develop the art they do, because in essence the sexual act is the bottom line. It is the motherboard of creativity. You dig what I'm saying? So when you are in a healthy zone of that, and you may have whatever psychological issues locked into your mind, you can rewire them during that whole advent, okay? And it may take role play, it may take whatever the case, but you can rewire that situation. And the reason why I brought up the psychiatry industry is because they know this. And there's actually a form of psychiatrist. I forgot what their classification is or what their title is, where they're basically what you want to call sacred prostitutes or whatever the case, and they're sexual healers, okay? And that's what they do. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of problems are removed from that. A lot of psychological conditions are basically removed or minimized through the advent of love with a person. Your mate is to be your therapist, so they're to understand you, and that's what that is, because the psychiatry industry understands that love and sex is the number one root answer to psychological issues. Okay, we can see that throughout school shootings and all of this other shit that we're seeing in the country right now. If you had a good sex life, you're not coming to the job with an attitude of trying to fire people and all this other shit and congested and all fucked up in the brain. You dig what I'm saying? So they socially want to demonize sexual activity so they can push pills on you, basically. Because when you don't have sex, that's when your desire for the euphorias that are in your body and the dopamines that are released that are in your body go into other things in society. And that's going to movies, going to games, going to, spending money here, spending money there, doing all types of shit that really don't amount to nothing. And the reason why you're doing these things besides experience is because of the endorphins that are, like I was on the phone with the homie, and he was saying something about racing cars is adrenaline, and it's like, nigga, racing the car don't mean shit to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, the real adrenaline is fucking shit out some pretty girls, nigga. Like, what the fuck? And when you go to that when you go into that space, you're not doing immature activity like trying to race some nigga at a stoplight. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, for real. So yeah,
this is under your section of discipline. If you claim everything was stolen from us, you are only reinforcing how weak you were from not being able to protect it.
yeah.
Also, your lack of appreciation and sense of value of your own property.
Right. That's most definitely true. Like, if you want to see some Egyptian artifacts right now, where you gotta go? You gotta go to a museum. Yeah, you gotta go to their museum. You're gonna break bread at the door. You understand me? And you will not walk past this red velvet rope. Do you understand how that works? And that is the bottom line. So I don't like. It's a limited format. It really shows you. It's either one or two things. This is a natural glass ceiling of how Native Black people think, or it's social propaganda that is easy to attach yourself to and utilize. And it could be one or the other. You see what I'm saying? And I don't ever go around talking about they stole our land. You can't steal land. You can murder the people that's on top of that land and remove their bodies, and then the land, then do whatever you want to on top of the land. But you can't necessarily steal land. So when it comes to that space, you're to protect yourself. That is a responsibility. That is your right. And if you failed in the space of protection, like natural law, 3-4 hyenas show up on the lioness, she got to give that shit up. You got to give up the dead gazelle, or we gonna eat you too. And that bounces back on manpower, and that's a situation we don't have. We think we can just come out here and complain about certain things, and because sympathy is one of the bases of magic. Is to make a motherfucker fall into the space of being sympathetic. That is the magic of the vagabond, of the beggar, is to make you feel bad about, you know what I'm saying? And that's all the Negro's trying to do with that statement of they stole this or they stole that.
Now this here, and this right here is heavy, and I know of its origin, but I'll just put it out. This is under the section of women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different types. And it says, a woman is not your woman until she gives you every penny she makes. All that love you gave are just words.
Yeah. The money is the bottom line in this dimension. It was like that before you were born. It was like that before I was born. Now, when we look at money, and when you look at money internationally, the majority of it has the pictures of men on it. The dollar bill is, basically the ticket of commerce, is the way you want to put it. Commerce is controlled by men. Real women don't like money. You know what I'm saying? Real women look at money as filthy. It does have a lot of blood on it. It has blood from all types of wars, you know. Blood just got spilled over money as we're doing this video right now. Somebody then got robbed, some bomb then got dropped somewhere, and all of that involves money. You dig what I'm saying? The angelic woman doesn't want nothing to deal with it. The angelic woman understands that her man is her protector, and she will assist in that space of protection, and she also understands that the money is more important than her. You dig what I'm saying? And she will assist within the security however she can. Okay? So she's going to assist by putting that money in your hand. Now, here's the thing. All men aren't good money managers. Okay? There may be some women who are born with that knack of money management and can you know, manage the shekels or spend the shekels better than what you can. You know what I'm saying? But for both of you to be putting the money in the same pot is ideal, because that also shows that you meet on a common ground. You are in agreement. And this bounces back to what it states in the Bible. You know, you were to leave your family and become one flesh. Okay, so one flesh spends $1 together. You dig what I'm saying? And she isn't worried about buying no Gucci bag, because she knows that when there's space, you will do that for her. You dig what I'm saying? She's not worried about, you know, getting certain hair or nails or buying a teddy bear or doing whatever fucking goofy ass shit with the money that she wants to. See, a lot of women out here are going to run around with that money shit because they want you to chase them, and they also want to be placed as more important than the dollar. Okay? And when a woman places herself as more important than the dollar, it's going to cause problems. You dig? Because she's gonna come at you with, you know, she's gonna try to make you. The woman that thinks that she's more important than the dollar is, while you getting for work, she gonna walk in the room naked and be like, oh, okay, yeah, well, let's do something, you know, and try to make you miss a day of work for an hour of some coochie. You dig what I'm saying? She wants to know that she's more, and you got to watch out for those type of women, because they don't understand the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that we're having generations here. We have to have a preparation line for our children, so on and so forth. And she is going to assist within that line by giving you the dough. And then it also removes all form of confusion. You ain't got to worry about shorty supposedly getting hotel rooms or spending money on stupid shit and out here at the club, or gotta let her old sorry ass girlfriend hold some money and all that other shit. If her girlfriend is fucked up, she gotta come to you and be like, oh, my cousin is fucked up, my girlfriend, she need to hold some money real quick. Or she might chop out something, and then boom, you get hit with an unexpected bill. Oh, our policy went up, I needs that, and she don't got it because she over here letting friends borrow money and all types of shit. So there's got to be you know, an authority in this space, and you know, there is an agreement and a common ground. You all communicate with each other about what's being done here, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're a leader, and you're not supposed to be putting any type of emotions involved into your financial decision making. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, you know,
here I really agree with this next statement, but a lot of people, they'll take it from a shallow, more of a superficial standpoint. And I'll just read it first, where it says, black women will not submit to black men collectively until they witness black men express more violence and dominance than what white men have shown her throughout the ages. Now, I know a lot of people, they'll take it from that, but well, what do you mean? You got a lot of violence among black violence. You know, you'll get all these excuses and reoccurring themes that we hear in the news, you know, stuff we're familiar with. But I'm totally aware of what you're talking about. You're talking about the power structure.
Right. The hierarchy that goes on in the race, that is unspoken rule. There's an unspoken rule in Chinese men and women that the Chinese man runs the fucking show. They don't got no women up there running for president and running no corporations and all that other shit. You know, there's an unspoken rule with this in Russia. You can look at any race of today, and it is very clear that the violence that has been exhibited in the old world, and also in modern times, if we were to look at the Mexican cartel structure, okay, keeps their women in a standpoint of, you know, of fear. It keeps their women in a standpoint of knowing their position and staying within that position and not walking outside those boundaries, okay, regardless of what type of devious acts the Mexican men produce or do on their own women and daughters, because they do it throughout the whole space, okay? If we're gonna get super technical, their women stand ground, okay? And their women uphold the culture, okay? And their women uphold their relationships, okay? So if you go to, like, for instance, out here in Vegas, you go out there to the Fremont or whatever, Mexicans is playing their Mexican music, and the Mexican man and woman are dancing together in Mexican fashion. And there is a boundary around the culture, because the women know, yo, if I don't act right, I might end up demolished and buried in the sand out here in the middle of the fucking, in the middle of the fucking Juarez, okay? They understand that. This level of experience black women have not gotten from black men. And this is where we see, when you get on your TikTok or when you get on these podcasts or whatever, where these black women can run their fucking mouth off fucking crazy and got these niggas running around chasing their goddamn tail, asking all these dumbass questions that we already know the answers to as a human race. But the women are more, it bounces back to a question you asked earlier, the women are more focused on them getting attention. It's all for the show. It's all for the show. It's not about the subject matter that we're talking about. Who gives a fuck about that shit? You know what I'm saying? Even though they want to be seen as some form of authority with some secret ancient knowledge or some shit to talk to the people in the audience. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just stand up and ask, why are we so stupid? You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, because you're not dealing with the literature, and we have no enforcement in those areas. You dig what I'm saying? Because on the flip side, that same violence exhibited would definitely enforce the women to be far more attentive to their children when it comes to progression, and when it comes to what you want to call, contributing to society, becoming doctors and prestigious titles and whatnot. But go ahead.
Yeah, see that this next point even explains that. It says, if the topic of slave breeding does not remove the bravado attitude that black women have and humble them, the only thing that will humble them is the same thing that humbled them towards white males in society, and that's organized brutality.
Yeah.
In all forms, sprinkled with half promises.
Yeah.
So
organized brutality, that's all you saw in slavery times. But when we dig into the medieval, we see that there's a lot of ritualistic things going on. You dig what I'm saying? There's a lot of crazy practices that were put in place to psychologically shift the way the women were responding to the men and responding to white males. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I see that because also, see, when it comes from white males, it also carries different. I sit back and I'm just like to observe and watch people interaction. And verbally carries. I can say something of a suggestion. But no matter how important the suggestion be, when the thing suggestion, people different take. People take it's almost like they take it because of the conditioning. The way we were raised. Yeah.
Well, white people, and keep on, the people in the, hold on, let me say this real quick. The people in the comments keep on talking about my mic being distorted. I don't know what that's about. Tell me if it's like that now. Keep on making the statements. I'll fix it through the gain or whatever. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Hopefully you hear me. But let's talk about that real quick. The thing is that everything that white culture did to black culture, they already did to themselves first. Is what we gotta understand. Is that produce still hear it now? Do you still hear a feedback or echo? Okay, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. But what we gotta understand is that white boys didn't have the brothels since ancient Greece and Rome and shit, and they've been doing some wild activity where it's all scientific, and we see it by. Okay, is it static now? And we see it by the behavior that's played out. White boys understand, aggressive rape until obliteration of the woman's mind and the woman's basically her spirit. It's extreme obliteration. I don't know why it's a static on my thing, man. Hold on, let me see it. Yeah, somebody said you're low, so I don't know. I don't know why. But yeah, it's basically an obliteration of the mind and the spirit. When you put like a 30-man gang rape on one girl, her brain, and say you do that every day for like a whole year, her mind's gone, brother. You know what I'm saying? Her mind, shit. Right. That brain is gone, okay? And her spirit is gone, and she will do as she's told. She would do as she's told immediately with no question or debate. She's scared of that activity occurring again, and especially if that happened to another girl also to her right next to her, and then they snapped her neck right after it was done. And you witnessed all of that? Shit. And these type of activities did go down. You witnessed all of that, and the same shit happened to you? This is the type of activity that was going down in Greece, Rome, medieval, all of that, okay? Let's be very clear. And that's why their women are cooperative, but then when you stand back and look at it as well, the white race is really the only race that educated their women. No other race across the planet educates their women. But China, and we see where China has gotten, they are very productive. They are in spot. You dig what I'm saying? They're in a position to take over the whole planet right now. And that's because they have their women with them, and they've also educated their women. But at the end of the day, Europeans were first when it comes to educating their women and utilizing their women in the whole space of dominance and control and shit like that. You dig what I'm saying? So.
Hey, this brings back to when I was in high school, and we all heard nice guys finish and girls
right.
And here in this street, and if women, they can comment on this and just confirm it. Even though I don't need the confirmation, women be tested, niggas, to see how much of a barbarian savage you are. And you niggas.
Right, you niggas be giving them flowers. Now, we go back to what the brother stated for anybody who didn't hear it. He said, women be testing you to see how much of a barbarian you are. That's where a lot of arguments come from sometimes. And you niggas be over here giving them flowers. And it's stated like that because that really bounces back to the caveman zone. And you gotta ask yourself, was the caveman serenading the cave woman? Did the caveman go in there and sing some Frank Sinatra to the cave woman? No. No, it was brutal activity going down. You know what I'm saying? I take this shit when I want this shit, and that was definitely the mind frame in Rome. And you can also see this mind frame in Greek mythology, Roman mythology. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no space of I gotta communicate with you, I gotta take you out on a date, I gotta fucking rub your feet and all this other shit. That was not the situation. The situation was, I see you over here bending over at the water, them cracks is goddamn getting me to the point I want that, and they went and got it. You dig what I'm saying? So women will test your barbarianism because that's done in a lot of space for number one, to see if beauty makes you submit. And because she's not the only one with beauty, other women have beauty. So So if you can't break past the point of submitting to beauty, that also means you're what you want to call a weak cheater. You're the type of nigga that'll go buy flowers for another bitch and da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got a wifey at the house because you don't know any other way to get to the coochie. You dig what I'm saying? Like, they got this show that shows up on my feed of these radio hosts calling in, and they do this, catch a cheater, the War of the Roses thing. And they're like, man, what they do is they call the man, and they'll be like, yeah, we're a flower company, and who you want to send some flowers to? And these bitch ass niggas always sending the flowers to some other woman besides their wife. It's a simple catch up. You don't get emotions involved with the extra piece of meat. You dig what I'm saying? Like, the emotional department is all for the women. For your wife is what I meant to say. Your wife is the one who gets the emotional connection, the emotional dedication, blah, blah, blah. The little piece of meat gets nothing. You understand? And you always have to keep it in that fashion. So, a woman is definitely going to test you to see if you submit to beauty, and then she's also going to test you to see if you can protect her. And that's what that not submitting to beauty is the protection of her, because that shows how much you're emotionally involved and indebted to that woman. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, women are going to test your barbarian level, and they may do it through nagging, they may do it through a lot of different ways, but regardless, having a woman in your life, your barbarianism is going to be tested. She's going to test you some way, somehow.
I'm gonna break away from this for a little bit, just ask you a question. Somebody raised the question, and they said, go in on how tell them how to avoid the petty argument.
The petty argument?
It's done a lot of times circumstances in high stress situations, with the relationship circumstances are. And easier said than done.
Just tell her she's right. Because she just wants to know that she can psychologically compete with you. She's not really going to put that shit in place. Right? So just tell her she's, okay, honey, dead it right there. Okay, honey, you're right. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. That it is done, because these are petty arguments that really have no activity or activation behind it. And really what's going on, I'll tell you what's really going on. What's really going on is that parasite in her, that cahoon inside of her, that uterus is running her mind crazy. And she knows that the uterus is running her mind crazy, and she gets mad that the uterus ain't running your mind crazy because the uterus ain't in you. So she'll just start up petty bullshit just to get you infuriated, because she's infuriated because the parasite is putting the pressure on her brain. So you see what I'm saying? That's all that is. So just like, you know what, honey, you're right, slap her on the ass, keep moving, and that's what it is, and if she tries to bring some other shit up again, and be like, hey, bro, Google is the Messiah, let's sit down and look at it. Boom. Put a third party in place, because women love the third party. That's why women were more submissive during our stages of religion as humans, because religion was the third party. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll do the polygamy shit by the third party. I'm not doing the polygamy shit by you. You ain't the all-powerful nigga. And you gotta understand, that is the parasite talking again, because the parasite understands that, nigga, I developed all this shit. Okay? So that's a complex on the woman's mind. Okay? Because the parasite developed everything, but the woman necessarily didn't. Okay? But the parasite has to operate through the woman. You dig? So that is where the lashing comes from that tail of the parasite. Bow, I need to hit your ass, and then you don't run shit up here. Bow, you know what I'm saying? We must have close experiences, brother. I see you shaking your head over here. But yo, that's what it is, you know. The parasite gets upset and is always in a mind frame. You have to understand that the parasite is in a mind frame of anger and aggression and destruction at all times, because at the root element of it, this is the mind frame of the mad scientist. Okay, and that's why the mad scientist has to lock himself away from society. Because this is wrong, fuck that shit, this is wrong, if I do it like this, oh, I destroyed it, oh, this is terrible, oh, you know. And this is also in synchronicity with the mind of the artist, okay? And the artist is the one that communicates to humans how to mate. Okay, so that is what the singer is. That is what, you know, the painter is. That is what theater is teaching the human how to incorporate emotions with each other for mating purposes and for relationship purposes, because we're dealing with the angry parasite. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. And you gonna love the parasite, you gonna kiss on the parasite whether you like it or not, nigga. That's what it is.
Brother, I'm gonna ask you one question. I'm gonna end it here. I went through a real dark study. And I came up with the conclusion that real love is not really truly based on the fact that there are too many conditions placed.
This is interesting.
I realized through the symbolism, we're looking at symbolism and understanding, thanks to Volume 2, Kicked Out of Heaven. Why does the witch constantly is infatuated and like to jump on the broomstick? Because at the end of the day, the goal was not really about love and the way we would fantasy, but the goal was really just to fuck the witch's brain.
Right. Okay. So this zone of the witch and the broom is owning the phallus. The broom is a phallic symbol, and that's why they're using the broom, because the broom is, with her flying on the broom, it is reverse of what the broom's purpose is for. The broom's purpose is to maintain the hygiene of the house, and she has went against that order, and she flies out at night. And she usually leaves through the chimney or leaves out of the window, because that's also reverse of how you enter in a home. So you enter in a home through the door, right? So this activity, and this goes into the pointed hat, the canonical hat. This also goes into the long nose. The long nose is the symbol of the animus, of the animal, because animals have long snouts, you know, and we're talking about the sexual savagery and the sexual freedom that animals are allowed to have, versus what is in the human paradigm, which is we have a lot of social control and social order around this thing. So when the woman has a desire to do what men do, and that we can see that clearly with the WNBA, right? And we can see that clearly with, you know, sports connotation, this whole Joy Taylor thing. You see what I'm saying? Women want to do what men do, and when a woman wants to do what a man does, that is the ownership of the phallus. And that's what you see. And no woman is to be out at night, because this is supposed to be danger zone. But it's not a danger zone for a woman if she takes over the phallus, like a street walking prostitute or a girl that's in a strip club, which these activities are usually conducted at night. but they have went over the fear of being sexually assaulted by men to giving in to men sexually. You see what I'm saying? And this leads us into the phallic tree, where women go out here and they're collecting a whole bunch of phalluses inside their bush. The tree is hair, okay? The bush, okay? And she collects the DNA from all of these different men, and this is her space of freedom. Because in reality, when it comes to the human paradigm, freedom is based in you not being ridiculed for breaking laws. Okay, right. So that's what we see when it comes to the whole witch paradigm and what the broom is. The broom is a phallic symbol, and she's not maintaining her duties at the house that she's supposed to, which is the cleanliness of the house. And then also she's not staying at the house at night overseeing her children that are produced. She's out and about in the streets, which is the screeching and the screaming. And this is also connected to women holding up the liquor bottle or holding up their drinks, or nobody's ever asked, because we don't understand psychology deep enough. So when you're looking at women on Instagram, what's the first thing they show you? A picture of their margarita, a picture of their alcohol bottle, and all of that, because this is the first time in human history where women have a free liaison to drink liquor and it's not socially ridiculed. This is the first time in human history, okay? In human history. So we're talking about China, Rome, Greece, Egypt, African tribes, Native American tribes, Maya, Inca. We're talking about all of that. Inuit, the Cree Indians, Alaska, all of that. This is the first time in human history that women have been able to consume alcohol without social ridicule. You have to understand that. So this is why you see women, and this is a subconscious, unconscious zone, because them directly, they don't know that that's what they're doing. You know, the girls that are born today, they're not educated with this on the details of what was going on in prior civilizations, but they do feel a deep-rooted freedom with the consumption of alcohol. Okay? And that's why you see them, we getting lit. Boy, they were calling women who drink alcohol lit girls in the 1950s. So the whole word of lit is social propaganda that 9 times out of 10 comes from the CIA, or it just comes from the soul understanding of human existence, where there's a lot of words and a lot of things embedded on what things are defined as, and as soon as they show up in this realm, the word will slip out. Okay, I just emailed you the sciences on that one. You know, it'll come out, the lit girls. Okay, so they were calling women who were alcoholics and on alcohol lit girls back in the 1950s. Okay, we have to understand that shit. So when you see these girls doing all this shit with the alcohol and the margaritas and all this shit, bitch, you doing it right now because men are stupid. Men are not men are not historically sound. Okay, like we used to be, right? When they showed you men of the 19, or even when we were kids and you watched the news, they were like, we have Dr. Something that's going to speak on the subject. How you show that nigga? That nigga was in his oak business room, oak desk, flannel socks, nigga, with what behind him? Books, Encyclopedia Britannica, the whole fucking line. Okay? He had books behind him in the fucking study. That's why they call it a study. Men are not historically sound, and because of that, we don't understand the paradigms that we're facing, especially when it comes to female freedom. Okay? Which, that was all set up by the destruction of men through wars that America went through. All of those wars were to leave children to leave children fatherless, and to also leave children in the status of not knowing the secrets, which this is one of those secrets. You know, alcohol should not be pushed in front of a woman, and also because of the deterioration of the womb and her giving birth to the next generation. You know, alcohol is a destroyer. You know.
Brother, I thank you. Again, this is so much to unpack. There's no way I could have all of this.
We still got some time. We got about 30 minutes if you want to. If you got some more questions.
Let me see. I'll pick a couple more. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I mean, it goes in and out, but the people gonna have to deal. But you were one area you were leaning in. It was coming through super clear.
This one here. People who are individualistic and by themselves to be. They don't know how to communicate and are in fear of love and pain.
Right. Love and pain are things you're gonna have to get accustomed to. Some people don't know what love is because of the environment that they were living in. As a child, there's definitely situations where there's alcoholic adults, and alcoholic adults may have their ritual of drinking. The husband comes home and the woman wants to start a fight with him, and then the husband gets drunk and beats her, and then she blames herself, and then she goes and makes dinner, and then they go back in the room and have what you call I forgot what it's called, argument sex or whatever the case. They heal their and this is a method that little Susie grew up watching. So now she identifies, the whole space of love making through this space of getting drunk and being violent with my mate before we can even get to that point. You dig what I'm saying? And that's the way her mind is built up on the reception of love. So, there's a lot of lying, that are taught to children. You can teach a child how to lie by them picking up the phone and you tell them, I'm not here. As an adult, you say, oh, I'm not here. Tell that motherfucker I'm not here. You just taught your child it's okay to lie. You see, and they'll do that. They'll carry that mechanism on in their communication style with their mate, so, and then a lot of people aren't accustomed to pain, and pain is how you learn, and there shouldn't be pain in the course of the relationship, but it does occur. These things do happen, and sometimes your woman will look at you like a motherfucking bitch if you don't bring it to her. I've had that happen to me. I had a girl tell me hit her with a belt. I said, "Pow!" She said, "That's all you got." I said, "Oh my God!" I said, so shit. A woman will invoke great werewolf. You know what I'm saying? I had a white girl tell me slap me. And I was on top of her. Pow! And then my goddamn goosebumps went up, nigga. The hair stood on end, nigga. She wants werewolf. She wants Frankenstein in the spine. So that's what you're gonna have to. That's what just is a part of the system, man. And if you can't really get those type of energies out of shorty, or if she's not asking for those energies out of you, then she really don't see that you got the balls to do it. You dig what I'm saying? So love and pain is intertwined. I don't like to mix pain with the whole course of love making. Some women need that shit. They call it hurts so good. When you understand the anatomy of the vagina, it is designed in that way. So you do have to break the helm, which is the virginity. They want to feel the stretching is what they call it. Stretch her out. They want to feel that shit. It feels good to them. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't understand that line, and because what's been propagandized to us is, oh yeah, nigga, big white dress, do the marriage, be the flower, and don't, and then you get your brain all pressurized into these crazy spaces, and then before you know it, you're looking at crazy fucking porn because you can't fucking exercise this shit with your shorty, because they got this whole social space of be an angel and all this, you know what I'm saying? So it's a complex, Yeah, But what's the one that we was talking about on the horn? The little girl never take the. Yeah. Let's do that one real quick.
Yeah, never take the little girl out of the world.
Right. I'm glad I'm able to explain this one because a lot of people love this one. It's probably going to be the cover for this video. Never take the little girl out of a grown woman is a very heavy statement. This correlates to fun, and this also correlates to a woman being happy hyper. You're a woman being happy hyper, and usually girls who grow up with beauty privilege have this, and they quote unquote fall into the category of being sexy. Okay, sexy girls can have better sex. You dig what I'm saying? And being happy hyper is definitely a healthy engine to keep a man moving. You dig what I'm saying? Because she's going to be all out and about everywhere, going everywhere, and she's going to be dragging you along, you know, and you do need to attend. So basically they try to make it seem like a happy hyper woman is not the thing to be with, and they show you this image by the man hanging outside the store holding all the bags and shit. You know, he got a happy hyper woman, but he can't calm her down. And that calming down space, which is also, this also correlates to the parasite, because you have to understand that that happy hyper energy comes from the sexual secretions that's inside of the body. That and they cry a lot too. So what I'm going in on is the parasite develops a lot of fluid inside the woman's body, and a lot of this fluid is the life fluid. Okay, and this is the juice of the battery for the happy hyper. Okay, now you as a man are supposed to be digging that juice out. That elixir juice that you get out is your creativity line, because now it makes you happy hyper. And through your space of happy hyper creativity, you build buildings, you draw paintings, you write songs, you build cars, you fight wars out of this juice of the happy hyper that comes from the woman. You dig? Now what happens here is that the happy hyper is correlated to a woman having fun. Now fun for us as an adult is a thing for children. Okay, with us as adults, we have a lot of complex seriousness that goes on in our lives with the responsibilities that we got, and the woman doesn't want, if you put those complex responsibilities on the woman's mind, it might crack her brain, and within that, you know, you get a stale woman. This is where she goes stale, she goes boring, don't really care about shit, you know, and she's not involved with shit because of the psychological weight that has been placed upon her. That's why you see a lot of girls who don't get conditioned to what adulthood is by certain lessons from childhood, fall into a dependency on just a coochie. And this is where you get these women with 4 or 5 baby daddies, and you get these women who are all tatted up and want to be up in the strip club all the time because they are fully dependent upon their coochie, because that is what the world has shown her, that's all they want. Okay, so that is also part of the man's fault. Okay, the man keep on goddamn sticking his hand between her legs, trying to goddamn get some titties and all this perverted shit that she has to respond to because she wasn't conditioned like, yo, this is the environment type clause. You know what I'm saying? Like girls back in the day used to get catcalled and they used to say thank you. They used to like the admiration or the attention that came from catcalling, and now that has been sort of like demonized. You dig what I'm saying? But the happy hyper girl, when you say hello ladies, how are you doing? You know, and they go run off, you know, and they goofy. I mean, and this happy hyper zone is shown to you in the other world in medievalism by the definition of the fairy. Okay? And what the fairy is a happy hyper girl. You know, this could whisper in your ear, go fly out somewhere, come back, give you some little coins or something, gone somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Because they have several motherfuckers to keep in the space of happiness. You know, because they're so bright that they're what you call the showstopper. They're what you call the party starter. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, because of her energy, you know, she has that power. You want that happy hyperness to be with you at all times. The whole key to the game is that we don't educate our women. Like I said, Europeans didn't have practice with this shit for hundreds and hundreds of years. They educate their women. You see what I'm saying? We don't educate our women thoroughly and correctly within inside the spaces of philosophy, society, wars and Greek mythology and all of that shit. They already have those sciences down. They'll teach their women, yo, you gotta go out here and hunt. Let's go hunt. They'll teach their women, yo, let's go mountain climb. You know, they'll teach their women, yo, get out here with the motherfucking pistol. Like my shorty, she was scared of guns. She didn't want my sons with no guns until I went out there and took her out there and made her bust, you know, and made her watch my sons bust some guns. She really like that type of shit. She's super lady. So, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta condition them in like, yo, this is a part of existence. A cop will pull up on you with a gun on his hip. Okay, guns are a part of the game. You know, you're dealing with a nigga where we may be in environments sometimes where these other niggas may have guns in their jackets or whatever the case. You need not be in that hardcore fear complex of the utilization of a gun or the results of it. You see what I'm saying? So, but within that, like I stated, you don't want to put too much responsibility or complex thinking or, or neglect from events and the woman being social in society, going to clubs, going to different types of things, you know, and put that on her mind because it will depress her happy hyper zone. And that is the elixir of everything. As a matter of fact, the only time period you know that the parasite is in synchronicity with the woman is when she's happy. Okay, right. That's why after, you know, good beat down session, a woman should be looking you in her eyes and saying thank you, because you have calmed great alien in the brain that you have calmed the alien that flickers in the mind. Because you gotta understand, it ain't a self-esteem thing when women be like, you think I'm ugly, you think I'm fat, you think I'm this. No, that's that alien. That's the alien running up the spine. Bitch, you fat. Bitch, you ugly. Bitch, you need more makeup. Bitch, that nigga don't give a fuck about you. Bitch, that nigga cheating on you with this. All that shit 24/7. That's why it's hard for him to sleep at night. The average woman only gets maybe 2 to 4 hours of sleep a day. Okay, you dig what I'm saying? And that also leads into the savage zone where she goes and sees the dark one, but that is connected with the parasite, because the parasite is married to the dark one. Do you understand? So, and that's what's going on, man. You know, she gets beat up all day in that psyche, bro, and, you know, you gotta calm that shit down by great pounding on the motherfucking cunt, man.
What's the character? The lady's name is Nosferatu.
Yeah, you saw that. You caught that, right? That wasn't me. That was Greater Beast, okay? Motherfucker, you did what I said. And that's exactly what it was. So I'm glad he put that in there. Yeah, because that is the uterus is alien science. That one statement right there was that. He said, no, it wasn't me. It is your nature talking to you. Got you goddamn going crazy and shit in the head. Right. Yeah.
I want to ask a question here. She said, race was destroying insecurity, Mama E. But she also asked about music. What's your take on music?
Well, music, amusement, that's just another term for the fallen angels that, you know, assist humans in mating, basically. You know, that's all you see. You know, because it's all in the Bible, right? Something else made it with Eve first. Something else made it with Mary first. It wasn't, you know, St. John. You know, it was Gabriel that came down. So basically what that's telling you is that the muses are, you know, we have to teach humans on how to be in love and how to mate and how to maintain relationships, you know, or a woman who is born with the gift of being a muse. Yeah, that's all that is. So you have a lot of women who are born with the gift of being a muse as a natural singer. Beyonce, Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, and you best believe they was doing great hanky-pank. You understand? You best believe that the Diddy Party before the Diddy Party by Quincy Jones was going down. You understand? And in order for these women like J-Lo and the like, Mariah Carey and all of that shit, they get sexually worshipped behind the scenes. and there's beautiful sexual art going on, okay? You understand that? And they bring that energy to the stage, you know, and make you admire, you understand? And then you go put their music on when you are with who? Your mate. You see how it works? Humans got problems, you know, with this whole pussy booty shit. You know, humans got problems. So the muse is the individuals who are the artistes, which are classified also as fallen angels that have to teach the human on how to maintain love and how to maintain relationship, because y'all niggas are some demonic motherfuckers. You like divorce court, nigga. You understand here? Okay? Y'all like the divorce court. Y'all like the bullshit. And, you know, we want to, you know, bring some Ronald Isley up in the game. You understand me? So, yeah, Rick James, you know?
I want to end this question here. You just said love they are.
Yeah.
We were talking about making comparisons, and you said that Puffy was Caligula.
Right. Okay.
Now,
keep going.
You have a statement here, and I'll let you talk about this statement. This is the last one I'm going to read. But I want you to go in on this because taking the face value, I don't think we really realize what the higher. It says when your entire race is in love with death and becomes immune, you will then be able to rule. I know what you're saying, but what exactly do you mean from a practical standpoint?
From a practical standpoint, let's talk about it. Now, this is a real thing in history. It's all in the medieval. Okay, and that was something that I learned in the medieval. You got to notice right after I published Real Nigga Etiquette, I published the first volume, I think, within the same year. So I was in those studies already. And it hit a point of falling in love with death. Now, when I tell you fall in love with death, the first images that should pull up in your mind is all the movies you've seen where the white man is over here dancing with a carcass. How many movies have you seen where the white man is dancing with a carcass? He's dancing with the rotten carcass. How many times, bro? You've seen it. You've seen Johnny Depp do it. I think he did it in one of them Pirates of the Caribbean movies. You've seen Tom Cruise do it in Interview with the Vampire. Now, now we're talking about decomposition, maggots coming out of his eye socket. You know, we're talking rottenness. We're talking black tongue in the mouth and black fluid coming out the mouth, and they kissing. Wow! You understand? And that is what falling in love with death is. Can you sleep with the carcass, you know, with the rotten carcass next to you? You know what I'm saying? The average Negro can't do no shit like that. I'm going to tell you right now. You know, yeah. And then if he could do it, he can't do it and still maintain sanity after this experience has occurred. You dig what I'm saying? There was one situation where there was a Russian dude. This nigga dug up 28 women out of the cemetery, took them back to his home. This is a real case that happened like a couple of years ago. It happened, I think, before the COVID. Russian dude dug up 28 women out of the cemetery, brought them back to his home, and put them all in like mannequin positions and dressed them up and put lipstick on them, all in different stages of decomposition. You understand? And this is the falling of love with death. Now, a lot of people may listen to me and be like, oh, this nigga is fucking crazy. What, nigga, you got a carcass underneath your bed, nigga, you fall in love with death? No, I haven't had no type of experience. We're not in a status anymore where we can attain those type of energies to our system. You dig what I'm saying? And they were so gone within the space of, you know, the air that they were smelling and the pure and the ergot that they were on and the alcohol and just the mass amount of experiences that were occurring that, you know. And then there's another layer too. And you see this in the plague. And there's a famous painting of an infant that's sucking on the mother's nipple, and the mother is dead from the plague, but the infant doesn't know it. So the infant is trying to feed itself through her breast, and her body is green. She's rotted out. You dig? But the infant doesn't know it. This is also a love here. You know what I'm saying? Over the whole status of death. There's another story inside the Kicked Out of Heaven Volume 2 where there's a family. I think it's like a child, two sons, and a father and a woman. And the plague has come. There's no food. The weather is drastic, -30 below zero. There's no food. Yeah, you read this story, huh? And the woman said, "Well, take my body. Take me. Kill me and eat me in order to survive." And this is another zone of love that we ain't touched that level. We haven't touched that level, you know what I'm saying? So, say you're like the Lioness of Brittany, look her up. It was on her third, fourth husband. Her husband got killed over some traitor situation. This woman waged war on whole countries as a pirate, built up a military of over 400 men, and went and fucking sacked castles and everything because you slaughtered her husband. And her husband went to court over some shit too. This man is crazy, dog. So the element of love, the first person that you had you, and then we also had to understand that socially during these times, it was you had more appreciation towards the mate that you were with and the person who broke your virginity and all of that other type of thing. It was a one-on-one thing. You dig what I'm saying? And a lot of the you got cases where I think one of the queens did this shit. I can't think of her name, but it's definitely inside the literature. Her husband died while he was out hunting. She came over there and only found his head. She took that head and put it up on her dresser and kissed it every day, no matter what level of decomposition the skull was in, and the flies were all around it, and the lips were turning blue, and she kissed his head every single day and said a little poem to the head, because this is the only thing she has left that reminds her of the deepest love that she ever felt. Okay, right. See, we have to look at the invisible things, bro. This is a level of love that it's a thin line in between love and insanity. But we, and the status that we're at as the black race, we have to only see love in this story. We can't look at insanity. We can't look at filth. We can't look at hygiene. We can't look at bacteria. We can't look at the potentiality of becoming sick. We can't even look at the stench. What you have to look at is this is the only thing left for the strongest love that I feel for this person. He will be the most dearest love that I have ever had, and I will always keep him with me, is what her mind frame is. She kisses, and it doesn't matter, all the way down to the skull. She keeps the skull with him. They've been there for 20, 30 fucking years. By the time 30, 40 years come in, the skull may be locked up in the attic, but she still has the skull. Do you understand me? and that is just what bro, and what's so crazy about it is that not only does the Kicked Out of Heaven have a multitude of these type of stories, but you can see it in events that occur today. They still have that shit in their operation. That they can love on those levels. You understand? Now, these are unconditional, unbreakable levels. And do we have that? And this bounces back to the true definition of loyalty and honor. That was honorable. Go ahead.
How they display that we're talking about when they show that insanity, the way they deny their serious.
Right. Or the relics that we see in Catholicism. It is the same line. This individual was so divine that we need to keep a finger knuckle. Okay, we need to encase. We need to encase the arm. We need to encase the head. Put a gold box over the head. I remember a fan hit me up. And was like, bro, I'm trying to understand. I'm looking at your Instagram page here. This is when I first wrote the 3 series at. He said, man, I'm looking at your Instagram page. He said, why does the white man have the skull in a gold box. I said, so I said, bro, you don't understand. Go ahead, what'd you say?
No, it's like, right.
Yeah, it's decoration, right. So I'm like, yo, bro, the individual was so divine. And then guess what? They've even tested some of these bones to fuck around and be animal bones and shit. They're not even human bones in some of those relics. So the relic thing may not even be true, but that's not the point. The point is the principality and the power that is attained from the people, so the people can have something to relate to. Okay, like you said earlier about Saint Michael Archangel is over fishermen. Name me another religious system that has given fishermen something to align with in the holy space while they're out there for hours and hours putting their life on the line trying to gain fish for the people. You see? You can't find another religion that has as many black images that Catholicism has scattered across the world, and we have trumped the people into a position to pray to these individuals and ask for hope from the black Madonnas that are all across the planet, from the black saints, Benedict the Moor and Saint Maurice, Saint Flower that are all across the planet. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so yeah, this is a level of respect and appreciation and love that we don't have, that it may have been engineered for them, because when you stand back and look at the kicked out of heaven, it's almost like Europeans were put into some type of ant farm to be created in this way. So we don't know, but deprivation and being deprived of things is definitely going to put you in a space of appreciation. You understand? And looking at lepers all day and degenerate kings who can't walk and savage knights and highwaymen that slaughter, and looking at all these conditions, a woman may not want no other male inside their body, so they just might hold deer. This is almost correlated to a flip side of the same coin. This is correlated to the movie Dead Presidents, when the one actor kept the head of one of the Vietnamese dudes in his book bag. Remember that shit? Yeah. Yeah, Botein, yeah. And he kept the head in his book bag for a trophy. You dig what I'm saying? But it was endearment. It is a trophy that he has earned. You dig what I'm saying? But there was definitely a fine line in between the insanity and, because, go ahead.
That was an excellent point. I was a big fan of that movie because his issue was collecting these medallions of Vietnamese as souvenirs. So he said, I'm going to want the captain, and I'm going to take the unit.
Right. There was competition. There's friendly competition right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Dead Presidents is definitely a money religion movie. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. Phenomenal film, phenomenal production and whatnot. But yeah, it does fall into that space. There was a love, there was an endearment, there was a nigga, I'm gonna beat you. It was, I'm more savage than you. I can handle more than you. And that's what was exemplified with that position, which is also a part of the game. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah. Yep.
Right here, I tell people, falling in love with death. A good mental readiness for that. Oh, you really got to be kicking That's it. How do you think that got? That's it.
He just did it. He just did it. And this is why I talk to my people. This is why I don't want people to be putting themselves in the space of a fan with me. Be family. Let's build. Let's see. Because, dog, I presented this game. There's still things I have to discover within the medieval spaces too, and that may be your responsibility. You dig what I'm saying? So never conclude. I know I'm a teacher, and I am considered as a teacher, and I respect that line, but after I'm gone, you gonna be the teacher, nigga. You dig what I'm saying? So it needs to be carried out. But like he said, the most important thing he just said right now is that the psychological preparation of the extremes that you may have to go through or whatever may come your way, you will be prepared for, at least by the psyche. Cause you ain't finna wake up with no dead dog carcass in your bed. None of you niggas is finna go that insane. You'll be all over the news. They're gonna lock your ass up. Okay, so we're not gonna do the hardcore literals, but you will be psychologically, the soul will be adjusted, my nigga. When you read this material, you be like, holy shit.
For real, and when you read it, get the appropriate background music, light a candle, and put a test inside of the dark room.
Yeah, you gotta go in. Yeah, I appreciate you for doing the questions. I'm gonna be doing these questions with Buddy a couple of more videos, and even y'all in the audience, if y'all got questions you want to ask me on this literature, go ahead and do it. I'm gonna go ahead and cut your camera off. I know you got things to get to and whatnot. I'm gonna sit here for about 5 more minutes. Yeah, I definitely appreciate the brother. I appreciate y'all coming in today. You know what I'm saying? And get the literature for show. If you have questions or if you want to drill me down, if you want to try to embarrass the 720, nigga, go ahead. Go ahead and bring the shit. Okay, when it comes to this info right here, Real Nigga Etiquette is what this video is about today. I'm glad he went that route because nobody has really done that. You know what I'm saying? About the fucking about this literature. You dig what I'm saying? So you can go ahead and drill me on the questions. You know, we could go and I can do some more explanations on things that people may be confused about when it comes to, you know, the rawness of the material. You dig what I'm saying? When it comes to the Kicked Out of Heaven, the Black Man's Bible, the Ethereal Law, Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women. Get it all right now. You could get all 9 books for $100 right now. You'll get 5 in paperback, and that would be the Kicked Out of Heaven Volume 1, 2, 3, the Black Man's Bible, and the Ethereal Law. And then you'll get the ebooks, the Real Nigga Etiquette, Real Nigga Etiquette VooDoo edition, and also the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women Volume 1 and Volume 2 for free in ebook form. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just what it is. I definitely appreciate y'all spending time with me today. Let me see if I have any questions here. Yeah. This is the Azir has a question. When he first learned about the ancient history and the Middle Ages, he asked the question, what is the mindset of people that go into a place and slaughter everyone and continue to do it? Well, yeah, I mean, that was part of the reason why I had to figure that out myself and why I went down that route to get those answers. And it boils all the way back down to what you want to call natural law. You know, you are not me and you are not of my people, so I can do whatever the fuck I want to. You know, and that is the case. You know, that's what people don't get. The sympathy bullshit, you know, is optional. People don't have to respond to your sympathy. People don't have to consider your position. You know, people don't, you know, it's animal. It's the natural law. That is nature. You know, the nature is that I can do what I want. You know, and I have a million men that support whatever level of idiocy that I want to project. You know, and due to that fact, you do not win. I have manpower and you don't, and that is why, you know, you fail. You know, that's why the majority of the races of the planet fail. You know, is because the unified barbarism is not truly in our system, and they keep it there and they maintain it. They do a lot of hazing rituals. They do a lot of crazy ass ritualistic shit amongst their own in order to keep that fine line of not having ego and pride. And not having ego and pride puts you in a space where you can do anything. You dig what I'm saying? So, donate to the podcast. Donate. Buy the books. I'm going to put all the links up in the comment section right now. You know, we're going to put it here. The first 2 songs you heard today was Just a Real Nigga and The Cult Leader, which is found on the Onyx Tablet album, which is the soundtrack to the Real Nigga Etiquette book, okay? And yeah, that's that. You can catch that at theguide720.com, and it is on all streaming platforms. You dig what I'm saying? So let me put these up in here. Donate. You know, don't be greedy. You know, children must be fed. You know what I'm saying? And we need to we gotta pay some bills up in here. You know, and let me see here. 720 for president, the homie says. Okay. So yeah, hopefully that'll happen in 4 years, because Lord, we need something. The Democrat Party shouldn't even be showing their goddamn face, but that's another discussion we'll have later. So yeah, yeah, I have that book Midas Right, you know, and I stopped reading it. I got halfway through it because, you know, dude was rambling on some political shit from the 1800s and shit. But yeah, anyways, I'm out of here. I definitely appreciate you. We'll be here tomorrow. I think we're going to do another interview tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So be here or be square. You understand? Be there or be square, okay? So let me play some tracks. Let me get the fuck up out of here. Shit. Alright, y'all get at me. Peace.
About business cause it's riches they want, but can't keep their eyes open after smoking a blunt. Real ones stay hot, got the heart for the hunt, got the brain for the game. So insane and profane, by brain won't change. That bitch some bold legs after snow cocaine. Now she go to the strip club, get dough for play. I'm the wizard of the odds, it's my job to get paid. Music is in your facade, Instagram and the page. Where's the gram for my range? Rather than standing on stage and have my hands on the gate. Looking for the ball play, spelling hallway. I'll be balling one day. This is just small base. Can't survive the play, run like swine your way. Watch your dragon grin as I give my game. And I won't be coming back till they feel keep with the flame. Mr. Story, nigga, remember the name. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Dark days, last days, I keep the black on my dark days, last days, I keep the black on my dark days, last days, I keep the black on my tip. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Dark days, last days, I keep the black on my dark days, last days, I keep the black on my dark days, last days, I keep the black on my juicy niggas think dark side depressed. Living in reality, heroin on your chest. Survivalist and I wish you get best. I'm myself, but niggas think I'm a test. Niggas running in the circle, they be rushing they death. When you find the stairway to heaven, start watching your step. Cause you might fall back, and what do you call that? And alleys, that's all. I got a scratch and I scratch stacks, all the rats and the rats, kids and the cats, smoking on crack. Have you ever seen a ball pushing Cadillac? What's the point of this rap? I'm not black, so when I speak upon rap, release the secret that you need to retract. You can bear your burden, I don't know slack. This the black man's Bible, and I'm just bashing the facts. I can at least give you that. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Dark days, last days, I keep the black on my dark days, last days, I keep the black on my dark days, last days, I keep the black on my. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Dark days, last days, I keep the black on my dark days, last days, I keep the black on my dark days, last days, I keep the black on my chill.
It's a website, isn't it? Okay, that's the internet. What are you talking about?
Sock City.
I think I missed one. like them yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like them yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like them yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like them yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
Predict the girl when you play in the park. Don't come outside when it's after dark. You're looking like Lois on my lane. Searching for Clark. Well, I'm Superman. Let me kiss your hand. Since you don't know where we stand. I got a small plan. Don't talk to any man unless he grand. Money is the magic that fits my shag. Get excited like you like my last demand. Obey, because it's real that way. She know I'll get conflict about my hang. Them dumbass mind games will not play. If my throne home, you gon' do as I say. See on this plantation, we work the night and the day. I'll take you to the polo forest and the bay. Yes, indeed, I'll give you everything you need. Cause when you succeed, bitch, my pocket succeed. I like yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
Stakes is high. It's just me, myself, and I.
Mary J is really all I need to get by.
But I hooked up with Renee on the Lost Boy side. She wanna spend time with ITY. Benita Apple on bubble gum, looking for a rough neck. She got a crush on me, real not stay wet. She like to talk about sex, so I told her like her son from the sweat. I got her hook sprung like a shook one. Watch when the crotch come. Leave her nookie know. These cookie crumbs, niggas wanna throw the fuck at the done. Business is my pleasure, mix money with the fun. Everywhere I walk, those cause they stun. Republican elegance, the elephant ton. Prostitution, only pick one. I like them yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like them yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I am the thousand princess. I possess the power they can't test. Collect every hour, every cent. And with every step, another flower set. Dress to impress, nonetheless, I digress. Watch your fucking mouth, I don't fuck with the stress. Be the sacred child that the father wants to bless. You can't have a black out without request. A grown man, a woman's tears on my chest. I won't hold hands, conflict of interest. Dip with finesse. Yes, I'm out the scene, cause I'm about my green day. Like a teen, rapping, say I'm so mean. But I make clean with the jelly bean. I can tell you plenty dreams. Only after you scream, part of my team. What the fuck you mean? I like yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.
I like yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Bitch, bring your ass, don't fuck with my patience.